Hi family, this is Eazi here, back again with another important topic, and today I'm going to do a part 2 of the part 1 that I done, where I was talking about the human microbiome and the immune system and the viruses, yeah? So in this episode, I'm going to be breaking down the cell. I'm going to break down RNA and DNA, SARS-CoV-2, and how it ends up in your lungs as COVID-19, yeah? There's a lot of information, so you have to pay attention, and I'm going to construct the cell, yeah? So this cell I'm going to construct first is the epithelial cell, yeah? So the epithelial cell is going to look like this, yeah? The outer layer, which is the cell membrane. Then you have, in the center, you have the nucleus, yeah? With the DNA with the inside, yeah? Yeah? You have an organelle called the Endoplasmic Reticulum, yeah? And this is the Endoplasmic Reticulum, yeah? Forgive me, it's quite windy, yeah? Then you have another organelle, which is important. It's called the Golgi Apparatus, yeah? I'm going to highlight the organelles that you need to take note of, or at least have in the back of your mind, yeah? The Golgi Apparatus is one of them. The Endoplasmic Reticulum is another one, yeah? Then you have ribosome, yeah? You have mitochondrial, and you have lysosome, yeah? Okay. You also have on your cell, epithelial cell, and cells, receptors, yeah? And this is where cells can feed, yeah? They feed via receptors, yeah? But in the epithelial cells, you have specific receptors, yeah? These receptors on the epithelial cells are called ACE2, yeah? Which are short for angiotensin converter enzyme 2, yeah? So ACE2, keep that in mind, that's very important as well. And you have also a receptor called TMPRSS2, yeah? Which is short for transmembrane serine protease 2, yeah? So the highlighted, which is the Golgi apparatus, the endoplasmic reticulum, the ACE2 receptor, and the TMPR22 are the organelles that you wanna keep your memory on, yeah? So obviously the cell membrane is the wall of the cell. The mitochondrial is responsible of turning whatever what the cell feeds off, which is nutrients and all that. So when you eat food and it turns into nutrients and that in your body, the cells pick it up via receptors, yeah? And the mitochondrial will turn those nutrients and fluids into energy, yeah? You have the ribosomes that's responsible of making proteins, yeah? And then you have the lysosome, which is responsible of getting rid of waste material, yeah? Like chelations and heavy metals like that also, yeah? And obviously the DNA and RNA and all that, yeah? So that's how the cell is, and that's how it feeds, and that's what it does. The endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi apparatus is responsible for making proteins, yeah, and sending that proteins out of the cell, yeah. So now I'm gonna jump straight into DNA and RNA, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to break down DNA and RNA. Yeah, let me just rub out a couple of things in itself. I'll keep it up there. So I'm going to break down DNA and RNA. DNA is a short term for deoxyribonucleic acid, yeah? RNA is short term for ribonucleic acid, yeah? So if you notice, the DNA has a deoxy, yeah? Meaning that it lacks the oxygen, yeah? Which is important, yeah? So DNA and RNA, yeah, are the two nucleic acids, yeah, that is constructed by nucleotides, yeah. Nucleotides are the five carbon sugars, yeah. Yep. We've got the phosphate backbone. This is the construction of a DNA or RNA, yeah? Has the 5 carbon sugars, the phosphate backbones, and you have the nitrogen bases, yeah? Yeah? So, nitrogen bases, yeah? I'm gonna break down the nitrogen bases before I give you the construction of the formula of DNA and RNA. So, the nitrogen bases on the DNA are adenine, yeah, you have thymine, you have cytosine, and you have guanine, yeah. That's the nitrogen bases of DNA. On RNA, it's basically the same, but instead of thymine, you have uracil, yeah? Okay, so that's the nitrogen bases of DNA and RNA, yeah? So, the formula of DNA and RNA, yeah? For DNA, you have the oxygen, CH2, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, yeah, that's DNA. Yep, and the RNA, you have the same, yeah, but you have the extra oxygen, yeah. As you can see. So, the fact that you have a lack of oxygen on DNA makes it bounded to the nucleus. So, the DNA don't leave the nucleus within inside the cell, yeah? RNA, with the extra oxygen, makes it acceptable to leaving and creating proteins. And how it works is the fact that you have 3 types of RNA, which are mRNA, tRNA, and rRNA, yeah? mRNA is messenger RNA, yeah, messengers, yeah? You have the tRNA, which is transfer RNA, and you have the rRNA, which is the ribosome RNA, yeah? So, the process of how RNA makes DNA helps with the process of creating protein is the fact that RNA takes the DNA sequence, yeah, via pre-RNA. So this is the start of how proteins are made, yeah? So pre-RNA takes a sequence of the DNA, yeah, and through transcription creates messenger RNA, yeah? So it takes the sequence of the DNA, the message from the DNA, yeah, transform it into the messenger RNA, having it leave the nucleus because of the extra oxygen that it has, yeah, through a form called transcription, making its way into the endoplasmic reticulum, yeah. In the endoplasmic reticulum, you have the soft part, and then you have the rough part. The rough part has the ribosomes, the soft part don't, yeah. So the rough part of the endoplasmic reticulum is responsible of making proteins. As I mentioned before, ribosomes is an organelle that makes proteins. So through transcriptional RNA, messenger RNA into the endoplasmic reticulum, it's turned into tRNA, where the transfer happens in the endoplasmic reticulum. So then it ends up into the Golgi apparatus, where it gets sealed and packaged into a protein vessel, cell-like vessel, and then get distributed to the outer layer, yeah? So that's the process of how messenger RNA turns into transfer RNA, and then ribosome RNA, and how RNA turns it into proteins and get distributed out the cell, yeah? So that's the breakdown of the cell and RNA and DNA, yeah? So now we're gonna break down SARS CoV-2, yeah? So Corona viridane, yeah? Corona viridane, yeah, is the family of viruses that jumped from animals to humans, yeah? The name is called Corona viridane, yeah? And within this family, you have viruses like MERS, yeah, and SARS, yeah. That's for example of the viruses. These viruses, yeah, these viruses are RNA enveloped single stranded positive sense viruses, yeah. That's what the viruses are, yeah. RNA enveloped single stranded positive sense viruses, yeah. So having said that, there are single-stranded RNA and you have double-stranded RNA, yeah? You have positive and negative, yeah? The corona viridane has the positive single-stranded RNA viruses, yeah? For example of a double-stranded RNA, you have a virus called rotavirus, yeah? Which young kids get. And the symptoms are diarrhea and all of that. That's a double-stranded RNA, yeah. But I heard that someone tried to say there ain't no there's only single-stranded RNA viruses. I just mentioned a double-stranded RNA virus, yeah. So I'm gonna break down and construct the SARS CoV-2, yeah. So, SARS-CoV-2, yeah, is 85% similar to the SARS virus, yeah. So that means, remember we had this virus before, and MERS. So this new virus that we have today is 85% similar to the one that we had before. Yeah. So understanding that, we know how it acts and what it does, and we have information on it. Yeah. I can construct the SARS-CoV-2. Yeah. It stands for severe respiratory syndrome 2, yeah? That's what SARS is called, yeah? SARS-CoV-2, yeah? Virus, sorry, syndrome coronavirus, sorry. I knew I was getting something. 2, yeah? That's what severe respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. That's SARS-CoV-2, yeah? The construction of the virus will look like this, yeah? So the reason why it's called corona is because the way the spike is shaped, yeah? So under a microscope, the receptors, or spikes, are in a crown shape, yeah? So that's why the term coronavirus is mentioned, yeah? Because of the shape of the spike. So these spikes, so this is the spike protein, yeah? I'm breaking down the SARS-CoV-2. You have M protein, short for membrane protein. You have a smaller one, which is E protein. Yeah. You have, again, yeah, and you have the capsid. Yeah, and inside the capsid, you have the nuclear capsid. Yeah. Yeah. And then you have the RNA. Okay, this is what the virus looks like, yeah? And you have ACE2 inhibitor, yeah? Like I explained about the epithelial cells, that is dominantly found in the lungs, intestines, your gut, and etc. Yeah. RNA virus specifically attach itself to the epithelial receptors. Yeah. So, meaning that these crown-like shape, which is the spike protein, can't attach to any other cell but the epithelial cell, yeah? So, yeah, you have M protein. M protein is on the envelope, and the outer layer of the virus is called envelope, yeah? So, on a cell, you have cell membrane. On a virus, it's called envelope, yeah? You have E protein and you have M protein, yeah? E protein and M protein is something that you want to take note of, yeah? Spike protein, like I broke it down, it only fits right within, yeah, so yeah, basically, yeah. And the way it works, yeah, is the fact that this is what you call how viruses gets within the cell and take over, which I explained on my first episode in the introduction, where it's called lactic cycle, yeah? And I break it down a little bit more depth on this one. So how it works is the fact, like I said before, these inhibitors, yeah, only attach to the ACE2 receptors, yeah, of a epithelial cell, yeah. Once the virus is attached to the epithelial cell via receptors, yeah, it starts pushing information through the TMPRSS2, yeah, and this is the start of a term called endocytosis, yeah. This is where the entry of a virus enters the cell, yeah. So what happens is, when the information is getting pushed through via the TMPRSS2, it opens the cell membrane of the cell, yeah, and this is where the virus actually makes its way into the cell. While it makes its way into the cell, yeah, the M protein and the E protein dispatch the virus, yeah, and starts heading and traveling, yeah, to the endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi apparatus, yeah. So the E protein and the M protein is what separates from the virus and ends up heading towards the manufacturing of the protein, yeah. The cell itself, the virus itself, heads towards the DNA, the nucleus, yeah. So the virus itself heads towards the nucleus. The M protein and E protein separates and heads towards the Golgi apparatus and the endoplasmic reticulum, yeah. What happens now? The M protein and E protein hijacks the Golgi apparatus, yeah, and the endoplasmic reticulum, yeah. The viruses attacks the nucleus, enters into the DNA, and pushes through their RNA coding, yeah. Once that happens, the cycle of how cells make protein would occur. So that means once the virus puts in the sequence of the virus code in the DNA, the M proteins send that message on to the endoplasmic reticulum and then the Golgi apparatus, and that's how it works. So this is how more viruses are produced, through the hijack of the nucleus and the DNA, injecting the DNA code in there, and the M protein and E protein hijacking the Golgi apparatus and the endoplasmic reticulum. That's when you have the flooding or the build-up of mini viruses. When that happens, the Golgi apparatus sends mini viruses outside the cell, but as so many is made, yeah, because of the hijack of the cell, it causes the cell to go through apoptosis, yeah, which simply means cell death, yeah. And this is where you get the viral infections, yeah, and the spread of the virus, yeah. So now you broke down cell, DNA and RNA. You broke down the virus and how it hijacks the cell, gets into it, hijacks the manufacturing organelles for proteins, and then forcing it to create mini viruses and the spread of infections. Now we're going to look at the lungs and how it ends up into your lungs, yeah, and causes havoc, yeah. So now I'm going to just draw out, if you can see, yeah, your lungs, yeah. best I can. Can you see that? So, obviously we know that viruses can only enter the body via nasal and oral, yeah? So your nose and your mouth, yeah? And your eyes, yeah? And like I said, the epithelial cells are found in your mouth, yeah? So your throat all the way down, in your lungs and all those places there. So this is where the virus can attach itself through the oral and enters through to the specific places where the epithelial cells layers, yeah? So you have stage 1, where you have the virus attaching itself to the epithelial cell within the larynx. Larynx is where it gets through the nozzle and the oral and end up at the top of your throat. That's where the larynx is. And then you might have symptomatic or cold-like symptoms, yeah? This is where a lot of people go through and might not know they have, and if they have, they get over it like a common cold, yeah? Because what happens is when the epithelial cells get attached in the oral or the larynx, yeah, and causes apoptosis and infections, which would then occur the dry cough, the innate immune system get cooled. The innate immune system that specifically get cooled out is called CXCL10, yeah? This innate immune system is the cool out for the natural killers, yeah? Like I explained on my episode before, the natural killers and the innate immune system is backed by bacteria, and that's the rapid and fast response of any type of viral infections, yeah? The natural killers, the CXCL10, yeah? That's what get cooled. Usually on the symptomatic state or a cold-like state, you would get a quick response and it usually clears up like common cold and get rid of it. So basically, that's what most people are going through, yeah? The severe cases of how the SARS-CoV-2 enters your body and ends up as a disease, COVID-19, is where it travels down the respiratory tract, yeah? Yeah, past the larynx, down to your respiratory tract, and you end up in the trachea, yeah? Trachea, yeah? Yeah? When it enters down through the trachea, attached to the epithelial cells, yeah? It will travel all the way to what you called here, the bronchus, yeah? The bronchus, yeah? And at the end of the bronchus, because there's different types of bronchus, yeah? The end of the bronchus, you will have little balls like at the end of the bronchus, which is called alveoli, yeah? What are alveoli, yeah? Alveoli are responsible for the distribution of oxygen into carbon dioxide. So where you breathe in oxygen and distribute out carbon dioxide is done by the alveoli. Alveoli are like trillion the balls that's found at the end of the bronchus, yeah? They're only small little balls, yeah? The alveoli are also responsible of distributing blood into your red blood cells, yeah? And your hemoglobin, yeah? So oxygen gets distributed, distributed through the alveoli, penetrates through the lungs and into the red blood cells that you will find, yeah? And the hemoglobins, this is like the transportation of oxygen within red blood cells and the hemoglobin, yeah? That's done via alveoli, yeah? The alveoli, I mean. So now the virus is entering through the tract and ends up into the alveoli where it starts attacking, or the virus starts affecting. This is where problems are going to occur. Yeah, the fact that the virus is down here now, yeah, the cell death, spreading of many different types of viruses, yeah, sends off a response, yeah. The response I just spoke about, which was the CXCL10, yeah, which is the innate immune system, sends off the alarm, yeah. When the alarm is sent off, yeah, the innate immune system sends inflammatory mediators, yeah, and also the NK, the killers, yeah. So now you have inflammation occurring, yeah, while the flood of the immune system is rushing to the infected area, yeah. So the infected area is obviously where the alveoli are, which is the small balls that are responsible of exchanging oxygen, yeah. The alarm says, so as the response has been made, yeah, naturally the inflammation mediators get pushed out in the affected area, causing a build-up of mucus and fluid, yeah, within that area of the lungs, yeah. Now you have the build-up of fluid and mucus within that lungs, making it very restricted in the alveoli balls, yeah. The innate immune system is making its way, yeah, through the affected area, and the response that is caused by the innate immune system and the inflammatory mediators. It causes a term called cytokine storm, yeah. The inflammatory mediators are different types of cytokine cells, yeah, or mediators, yeah. This is what floods the area to fight against this viral infection, yeah. But the cytokine storm causes an overflood, yeah. The innate immune system contributes to it, so you have two tactics of fighting systems that is flooding the area trying to get rid of this virus, yeah. This is what you cause the shortness of breath, yeah, making it hard to breathe, and in severe cases, especially when it comes to the cytokine storm, it causes ARD, yeah, which is acute, and S, yeah, which is acute respiratory syndrome. No, acute respiratory disease syndrome, yeah. And this is where you will have people in basically needing oxygen to help them breathe. This is the severe course of COVID-19, where it turns into ARD, yeah. This is where a patient can actually die from, yeah. And this is how it works, yeah. When the virus is infecting the area, the immune system and the inflammatory mediators flood the lungs, trying to get rid of it, and this causes the ARD, yeah. So this is how people can die, yeah. That's only COVID-19 affecting the respiratory area, yeah, your lungs, yeah. obviously we know that COVID-19 can affect your intestines and many other areas, but the people having that lung support, getting oxygen, this is the way it affects the body, and this is what you die from, the ARDs, yeah? So that's the breakdown of COVID-19 as a disease, yeah? So that is the end of my breakdown. And I'll give a few pointers that obviously I should have mentioned and might have forgotten. For example, now with the disinfectant, yeah, uses, yeah, and the alcohol in alcohol in cleaning your hands and everything. The alcohol, the way it works is that the alcohol is a substance that breaks the envelope of the virus, yeah? So that's how it works. It breaks the envelope. There's some viruses that don't have the envelope, but this one has, yeah? So they tell you that you must wash your hands, yeah? There's a lot of people buying antibacterial hand wash. If you're trying to kill bacteria, which I would not suggest at this time, that's what it does. Antiviral, that's what you're meant to be looking for. Trying to wash your hands with antibacterial, you ain't trying to kill the virus. You're wiping and stripping your hands off the good and the bad bacteria. The good bacteria is what helps defend against the virus, yeah? So people have to be aware about that, you know what I mean? You're weakening your immune system, trying to kill something that is actually protects you, yeah, which is the bacteria, yeah? On my introduction, on the first introduction, I broke it down how the fact that 99.9% that we are made up of bacteria, yeah? So bacteria and probiotics is very important. We need to start using those products, and the utilization of vitamin C in the escarola, turkey tail mushrooms. We just need to be aware of our health. You know, our health is going to be our main concern throughout, because if you understand viruses and how it works, it's like vitamin D, the UV lights destroys it and kill it, yeah? We are soon yet to feel how winter is, yeah? So the best bet is to disarm yourself from now. Keep up with your dietary, your health dietary. Get your vitamin C's, because we still have winter to come to. That's all the people in England and wherever that's got the winter out. And yeah, just maintain your alert. Yeah, and that's easy for you. And make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you hit the notification button, and hopefully I can have a conversation with people where I can break down the questions and everything, and I'll put that on the next episode. But until then, peace out.